I was at a parade in Texas, 4th of July parade, and I felt awful. As soon as the parade was over with, my staffer told me, "You look awful, and I'm taking you to the hospital." Of course, that's no. And I flew to Washington, D.C. after the parade. Then I got here, and when I started trying to walk across the street, I knew something was wrong when I had to stop in the middle of the street and couldn't get across. So I went to Georgetown Hospital, and the doctor there, she ran all kinds of tests, came back and called me later in the day and said, "You need to get back over here." I went back over there and she said, "We got to do a bone marrow biopsy, you have leukemia." And I was shocked. Leukemia? What is leukemia? And she explained to me what it was and that I was in really bad shape. The platelet count was so low that she told me I had to go back to Houston. But she wouldn't let me get on a plane because I wouldn't survive the flight. So I had to stay at Georgetown overnight, and some good folks from around here who I don't know came to the hospital and donated those platelets because the lifespan of platelets is in a matter of hours. And so I had 3 donors. I don't know who they were, but I got enough platelets to get on an airplane the next morning. I got checked in, and I was in the hospital for a long time after that. I would talk to the other leukemia patients there. The conversations, the stories, it's just, they're all the same in the sense that it was a shock, it affected their life, it affects their families, and there are so many people who have cancer-related illnesses.
In just 8 weeks, incredible progress has been made. I'm able to be back in Washington, D.C. I will be here as much as my treatment will allow.
I learned a whole lot about leukemia and cancer. That then became the focus, although I still do my job here as a member of Congress and other activities. But it kind of hits you where you have to change your lifestyle, and you certainly change your priorities. I did anyway when I found out that I was in pretty bad shape. But it has increased my awareness of the fact that so many Americans and people throughout the world have to deal with some form of cancer. Very young ones and very old ones and everybody in between. And there are all types of cancers. I think the federal government has a role in medicine in the sense that it can provide and should provide money, taxpayer money, for research. That is something the government can do, and it does it pretty well. Being co-chair of the Cancer Survivors Caucus with Mr. DeSalmaire, we both, based on our experience, want to bring an awareness to Congress so that Congress can do things that Congress needs to do, primarily in the area of funding and research. We have a lot of very smart people taking those funds and figuring out all the genetics and all of those things that researchers do. They're very good at that. And developing treatment, developing protocols. Our medical people across the board in the research area are doing fabulous jobs trying to cure cancer-related illnesses. And it's impressive. We have the best, I think, in the world, working in the United States that are at different locations, all working for the same goal to eliminate cancer. More and more members are becoming aware of that and understand that this is something that government ought to do, and do it in a bipartisan way. This is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. Cancer doesn't pick parties. It's everybody.
Once you choose hope, anything is possible. And Mr. Speaker, I choose hope.